I'm kind of recording this video in the dark, cause I wanted to highlight the view. It's pretty cool. So, my last video was titled, I was born on this day, parentheses, kind of. And I want to clarify what I mentioned, or what I meant by kind of, because it's like, oh, well, it's my birthday. How can I only kind of be born on this day? I think more accurate, honestly, would have been the title, I was born on this date, because while I was born on the 19th of May, and that's the day that it is still currently here, I'm on the opposite side of the world and across the international date line from where said birth took place. Therefore, while it was the date of my birth, it was not my birthday, chronologically speaking, as in, I have not yet fully elapsed 19 years of life. Because while in, my hometown, I don't know, I don't like the phrase hometown, but it's the most accurate descriptor. In my hometown, way back in 2006, I was born on the 19th, the exact same that moment in time happened simultaneously as the 20th of May here. Like, when I was born, where I was born, when I was born where I was born, it was the 19th at that moment in time. And where I am currently, it was the 20th when I was born. Therefore, tomorrow, and it is still tomorrow because it's not past midnight, but you would never know because the sun went down at like 5, which, like, I get it, it's going into winter, and I use winter as a very loose term because here 60 is cold, but I really hope you can see like some of my movements, because I just did air quotes, and to be honest, I have no idea if that showed up on camera. But like it's moving into winter over here, and because of that fact, it makes sense for the sun to be setting earlier. But where I'm from, winter sun sets at about 6. Summer, and even even in spring, sun sets at like 9:30 p.m. And so it's just a bit weird where, like, still solidly, like, afternoon, the sun is just gone. It's strange, to be certain. But yeah, all that to say, today is the date of my birth. Tomorrow is the day on which my life will have elapsed 19 years. You know, the moment I was born will have happened 19 years ago from tomorrow, and I think somewhere during the evening of tomorrow. But here, for all intents and purposes, legally speaking, I'm 19. That is not true, where I'm from. But here and now, I am considered to be 19 years old. And, it's a semantics thing. It honestly is. And it does not matter whether I am chronologically speaking 19 or not. But that's why I put the kind of in parentheses. It's because, well, it's the day I was born, but it's not, So yeah, a bit of a point of clarification. I didn't really do much for my birthday. Given the fact that tomorrow is actually truly my birthday, like in every sense, I might have the opportunity to do something for my birthday after all, which is kind of cool, because it's not like I deserve more than one day, but one day is the date of my birth, and the other day is the day on which I was actually born. And so, by technicality, I'm not really asking for more than one birthday. I just kind of have more than one birthday in this weird situation. And, I didn't do literally nothing. I did family stuff. My grandparents, took me to my aunt's house, and we had dinner, had a bit of cake. Although it was a very large dinner, so most of the cake is still intact, but yeah. But I didn't really get to go out and do anything, and it's not without reason. When I do actually end up, going to explore on my own, I'll be able to do more stuff, simply because of the fact that as of right now, where I go, and by proxy largely what I'm able to do, is based off of what my grandparents can take me to, will take me to, want to take me to, would be awake to take me to, because, grandparents, elderly, they go to sleep at, early times. They're tired way before early times. It's just anything I would want to do that's later in the evening, not a great ability to do it. I'm not complaining. I literally came halfway around the globe and into the opposite hemisphere to be able to stay here with free lodging and free food. I am by no means complaining that I'm staying here with my grandparents. I think it's great. But they're not gonna take me out to go do things at night, because a lot of public transportation mainly the public transportation that I would need, like a bus, is not going to be actively, and therefore, my only option would be them driving me. And of course, them driving me also likely means them picking me up. So it's not unreasonable to think that they would not be able to, nor desire, to take me somewhere later in the evening. And to be honest, exploring what options I have only goes so far. Like, at the end of the day, I don't have that many options to explore. And that's just the truth of the matter. And to be honest, I get it, I had a pretty good birthday. I don't give a shit about birthdays anymore. I haven't given a shit about birthdays for a while. Even when my 16th birthday was about me driving, that was like the only thing I cared about. I didn't even care about the fact that it was my birthday. I cared about the fact that I was old enough to drive. Like, a birthday's a thing that happens now. It doesn't hold much meaning to me. And really my only thought about my birthday is how, in the least manipulative way possible, I can leverage it. It's like, I want to go out and do fun things and meet new people. It's my birthday. Like, I don't know, it's my birthday kind of feels like an addendum that you can add to a request that makes it more likely for your request to be honored. Fulfilled? I don't fucking know the correct words. Whatever. Shit. I was gonna show you my One Piece shirt, but it's dark. Whatever. So basically, yeah. Maybe, and it is the advantage of having two birthdays, sort of. I'm probably going to get a lot more, like, texts and calls from friends and family tomorrow than I did today. I got, like, one video call with a bunch, and not really a bunch, my parents, my brother, and a couple of friends. I got a video call from them. They said happy birthday. That was pretty much it. And a friend that I've been keeping in, regular communication with. Those were the extent of the people that said happy birthday, and that's fine. Odds are I'm going to get a lot more happy birthdays tomorrow because of the fact that it's going to be my birthday, in America. And the people who know it's my birthday are going to be thinking on American time, and plus I'm getting another call from my parents tomorrow, because tomorrow is literally the day I was born. Whatever. Point is, I might kind of get a do-over. I don't know what I want to do, though. And that's the thing. It's partially my inability to ask, because I already know, what asking entails. Like, what I'm really asking for. I'm very aware of what I'm really asking for. And it's not a very realistic thing to expect, but maybe I might have more courage and confidence to make such a request if I were to... I'm yapping, but the point is, I might be more willing to make a request than I understand saying no to if I had something specific in mind. But I don't have anything specific in mind. I wouldn't even know where to start. So, fuck me, am I right? I don't know. Anyway, that was not the main topic that I was, like, envisioning. So I'm going to steer away from that topic because I've already spent a long time on it. And I really, like, it's understandable that people skip through parts of my videos, because it's like, or not, no, they don't skip. What I mean is, people click off my video, which makes sense, because I waffle on and I yap and I yap and I yap, and if yapping and constant yapping isn't what you're looking for, then it makes sense that you would click off the video. Anywho, anyhow, anyway, any why, any whatever the fuck. Yeah. So. The idea, well, I was gonna say something and I fucking forgot what it was, but it's really calm out here, you know? There's the gentle hum of city sounds, of cars, of motorcycles, of, you know, but it's not loud. It's not abrasive, it's not grating. It's a dull roar in the background. Calm is... I don't know what the fuck that is. Calm is such an interesting thing. Because calm isn't specific. Calm can be a lot of things. Calm can be perfect silence, but at the same time, perfect silence can give you anxiety. Like, not just anxiety, you know? When everything's too quiet, you just, you know, you might start feeling the void start to build up in your stomach, and that fucking sucks. But, like, there's so many things that can invoke a feeling of calm. Even things you wouldn't expect to invoke a feeling of calm. Like, some people find calm in abrasive, loud noise. Some people find calm in strange noises. Calm is nice. And it's a lot better of a feeling than emptiness. And I'm not calm all that often. Normally, I'm just existing. And I'm not really in any particular state. I'm not angry, I'm not happy. Shit, I'm not even miserable a lot of the time. I'm just there. Present. Kind of. I'm not even really all that out of it. I'm just there. But I like calm. I'm gonna, you know what, fuck calm. I'm gonna fucking crash out and fucking beat that train up. Yeah. I don't know. Oh, yeah, today I entered into a bit of a drawing. A bit of a sweepstakes. A bit of a lottery, if you will. You know the thing that radio stations used to do? Well, turns out they still do, like giveaways. And it's like the call-in thing. No, I didn't necessarily win. No, I didn't lose. So basically, in this particular contest, it's tickets to a sporting event. A sporting event that honestly I would very much like to see in person if I'm able to, because I think it'd be cool. And I've been like watching the sports on the TV, and I like the sports over here. Maybe a bit more than like a lot of American sports. But the point is, yeah, the radio was having a thing where they're like, at a certain time we'll tell you to call in. And it's not the same thing as like I've heard in radio stations in America, where it's like, be the 11th caller and we will, give you this thing. It's, basically what you did was you would call in at that exact time. And, like, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of people trying to get in. Sometimes your call will be blocked. My call got blocked at first, and then I called a second time. And, like, my grandparents were calling. And my grandparents never got through. But I called once, got blocked, called a second time, and it started ringing. And so I was like, oh. And then I got through. And they asked for my name and what suburb I was in, and my phone number and my email address. Obviously, I gave them my here phone number. My US phone number would do them nothing. But I did give them my my regular email because, Oh. Anyway, I just had an epiphany, and I'm wondering how to proceed with it. That's a story for another time. But yeah, and so now I'm in the drawing. I've got to wait to find out if I'm gonna get chosen. My grandfather is of the mind that I will be. Like, he's just decided I will be. Because he's like, like, we could not get through at all. You made it through. It's your birthday. You're gonna get lucky. Like, I'm like, shit, dude. Maybe. The only other thing that I've, like, won before, well, I didn't win this, but the only thing I've ever won before, really, like, I've won, like, small-scale raffles with, like, not that many people in them. But, like, the big thing that I've won was there was this bag giveaway. Really high-end, nice bags or whatever. And my friend sent me a text with, like, a link to enter this bag giveaway. Like, it's like a $300 backpack or, like, satchel, messenger bag, whatever. You could pick one of those off the website if you won. And so my friend sent me a referral link so I would enter the drawing, but he didn't want me to enter the drawing. He just wanted another, like, he just wanted another entry into the giveaway. Because you could enter the giveaway, and then if you referred a friend, you would get an additional entry, and your friend would get an entry. And so I guess he was probably sending it to, like, everyone he could get to, so he had the maximum amount of entries possible. And I was like, alright, fuck it. I had one singular entry. I never interacted with this at all again. Till one day, I got an email. And it was from the official email, because, I check email addresses. I am not fucking clicking on a link that came from fucking random numbers and letters at fucking iCloud or whatever. Okay, I'm not doing that. But it was from, like, a seemingly legit official company email. And when I clicked on the link, it took me to the site. It was like, you won, like, our giveaway. And, like, I think I was, one of, like, 3 or 5 winners. I can't recall. But that was picked out of, like, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. Or at least millions of entries, even if it wasn't well, I mean, it would have had to be millions of people if it was millions of entries, because there's no way that people are getting, like, hundreds or thousands of entries by themselves. But, like, it was a lot of people, and I won, like, a $300 bag with one entry just because I was doing my friend a favor. No, I didn't fucking give the bag to him. It's my bag, and it's at home right now. Not this home, but, like, home on the other side of the world. And yeah, I got unbelievably lucky. It's probably the closest I'll ever come to winning the lottery. It's probably the closest anyone in my vicinity is ever going to come to winning the lottery, and they didn't even get the fucking bag. That's just because that's how the lottery is. Also, the lottery earnings here are untaxed. So if you win, like, $2 million, you get $2 million. If you win $40 million, you get $40 million. You cannot be taxed on any of that money at any point. Like, if you put it into a bank account and the bank account starts earning interest, you can be taxed on the interest from the money, but you can't be taxed on the money itself. Which is fucking awesome. Might just move here. TBH. No, I have college to go to. Might just move here in 4 years. TBH. But yeah, no, that's cool. Anyway, that's not the point. Anyway, yeah, so I entered a drawing, and a lot of people tried to get into that drawing and failed, but I didn't fail. And that, combined with the fact that it's my birth date today, and it's my birthday tomorrow, my granddad seems to think I'll win it, and you know what? Fucking he's right. I'm gonna win it, and that's what it is, I'm the GOAT. What can I say? And if I don't win it, I'm gonna be super sad. And that's just the truth. But I'm in the drawing, and they have my here phone number, which gets, like, no interactions except from one friend, occasionally my grandma, and even less so my grandpa. Like, nobody else contacts that phone whatsoever. So if I get contacted on that phone, I'm fucking picking it up. And it will be really cool if I could go. And that's what it is. Anyhow. Yeah. Yeah, and I entered a drawing today. So. Basically, I'm sick of a lot of things. There's a lot that I'm sick of hearing about. Mainly because I don't care. I'm sick of hearing about the political and economic state of the world. It's shit. That's the whole summary. Okay? I'm sick of hearing about, all the people suffering and dying. And it's like, but what but you should care. You should hear about that, and your heart should bleed for them. It's like, I don't fucking know them. Oh no. What do you fucking do? It's like, but you could be in their situation one day, and when I'm in it, it's gonna fucking suck, and my heart's gonna bleed for me. It's like, that's so selfish. I don't know. You know, like, I care a little. That's a lie. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get what all the point of that is. What is the purpose of, like, fucking concerning yourself so heavily with stuff that just, it isn't any of your concern? What? And it's like, well, it should be your concern. The common welfare was my business. Fucking Christmas Carol. But it's like, I'm not fucking Ebenezer Scrooge. I'm not fucking Scrooge McDuck. I don't have enough money to give a shit about people. Interacting with people, learning about people, understanding them and their story, it's valuable. But caring relentlessly for people in shitty situations, I don't have it in me. I don't have the capacity, and even if I did have the capacity, I don't want to use it for that. It's like, wow, you need to learn empathy. Wow. Okay. And maybe that's just the apathetic, nihilistic bastard in me talking, but, like, what good does it do? What good does it do to be relentlessly worried? And, well, it doesn't even have to be relentless worry. And that's what some people would, retort with. They would say, well, you don't have to relentlessly worry, okay? Your heart should go out to these people. You should be vocal about the things that are happening to them. You should be appalled, horrified, fucking, you don't have to make a massive deal out of it to care. It's like, yeah, I suppose that's true, but I don't care. And that's that. I don't give a shit, you know? It's like, stupid guy doesn't give a shit about anything but himself. Which isn't entirely true, but an understandable conclusion to draw from the things I'm saying. But I think a lot more people are like this than people want to admit. Either that, or, like, I'm a psychopath, and like, so many people actually give a shit that, I don't know. Like, impoverished people, I don't care. Homeless people, I don't care. Part of me feels like I'm voicing thoughts that people have but don't say, And then part of me is like, no, actually a lot of people care about people. You're just a fucking, whack job. But at the very least, I'm not evil. I don't wish any harm upon anyone. I just don't give a shit about them. And if you're in my Discord and you're thinking, or, like, if you're about to join my Discord, and you're thinking, fuck, man, he doesn't give a shit about me because I'm a random person. Don't let that dissuade you from being in/joining my Discord, because it doesn't, like, if I talk to you, I'm not just gonna, think of you as just, like, a faceless person, okay? I'm gonna think of you as a real person. And I'll do my best to care about you in the best capacity that one can care about someone that they don't really know. But I just don't get why we need to. Why do we need to concern ourselves with the issues of others? You exist in a position of power. It's your responsibility. I don't have power over anyone. I don't have a responsibility to anyone to do anything. I am literally just a guy. Maybe it's the lethargy talking. I don't know. Maybe you'll hate that part of me. Maybe you'll even watch previous videos of mine and be like, you know, there's so much emotional intelligence here. There's so much capacity for understanding the human condition. There's so much ability to see how people feel. There's so much ability to fundamentally break down emotions and why we feel them and why we think the way we think. Why doesn't he care? And I don't fucking know, dude. I feel like it could be very easy to hear the things I'm saying and paint me as a bad person. Because I don't care. And it might confuse people who thought I was a good person, who thought I did care. Just doing what I do best at this point, yapping. Also, my phone died right as I was about to end the recording last night. So it worked out perfectly, honestly. The instant cut to black, it was pretty cool. You usually only get that when you actually edit your videos, which for those of you that are new, I don't, and I probably won't. I know this is incoherent and it's ramblings, but that's what this is. Sometimes I come in here with more of a structure or a start, more of a specific topic. But honestly, this from the beginning and probably till the end is incoherent ramblings of a madman. And if you don't like that, then watch this on 2 times speed, because I will never dissuade you from watching these. Mainly just because I think it's kind of cool how many people do end up watching these. There was a time when I probably would have dissuaded people from watching these just because it's like, oh, this is just me being completely transparent. Even saying things I shouldn't sometimes. And by completely transparent, we all know that I mean translucent at best. But I mean, nobody's completely transparent. The idea of complete transparency is a level of vulnerability and just raw openness that most nobody, I don't even know if that grammatically makes sense, is willing to display in a setting that can be seen by so many people, because people criticize, and it's not even, an insecurity thing. It's not, I'm not willing to put my entire self out there because of the fact that, I don't want to be criticized. It's, I'm not willing to put my entire self out there because of the fact that I'm not always a great person, We're all kind of pieces of shit. And if you're not a piece of shit at even a little bit, then I'd like to meet you, because I think you're a unicorn. And nobody wants to show what a piece of shit they are, especially not to potentially thousands of people, which I didn't even think was a possibility, that even thousands of people would see this. But I am glad that I did not show my whole ass when beginning this, and I held back a little bit, because even with the level of vulnerability and raw openness that I have shown on here, I am glad that I held myself back a little, because getting hundreds of viewers far exceeded my expectations of how I was gonna perform views wise. So yeah. And if you dislike me for, stupid tangents that I go on, or if you dislike me because I broach a particular subject, like not really giving a shit about those in horrific situations, recognize that that's not all of me. That's a portion of me, and a portion of me that's not likely to come up all the time. And if you did genuinely find enjoyment in the other things I said, I don't need to explain myself to you, but I'm gonna. I don't know, like, people are gonna like what they like, people are gonna hate what they hate, and at the end of the day, I'm literally just saying shit. I don't know. Shout out Jungle Cats. It's not a band, it's not a group of people or anything. I'm shouting out literal jungle cats like jaguars and leopards. Not lions. Lions aren't jungle cats. I don't know who the fuck started that rumor. Whoever started that rumor ought to be thrown in the fucking loony bin and beaten up by a guy with extreme schizophrenia. Nice view, huh? What? That's right, you just got fucking punched in the face.